Hello everybody and welcome back to TCR Racing. I am proud to say that we're back for the Platinum Class races. My name is JB and I'm here for the full 15 race season here at TCR. And what a race season we got planned. But I'm not on my own. Fresh from recording his latest album, I have Dr. Dre with me. Dre, how are you doing, my friend?
Great, thanks for having me back. I think this is my third season commentating with the Platinum Class, so I'm looking forward to see how things go. I raced yesterday, didn't do so great, but a lot of my fellow drivers did, and hopefully our premier season career goes really well this season.
It is, and we have some new faces and old faces coming up into the Platinum Class. If you don't know me, well, my name's JB. I have come all the way over from England to come over and give you guys a nice commentary session here at round one at Bahrain in Turkey. And the lights on this game look fantastic. If you haven't noticed, we are on the 2019 Formula One game. And I don't know what your first impressions were, Dre, but this game truly is a great success of the 2018.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love the game. I've been playing it. I haven't gotten so far into the career mode yet, but I'm starting to work around. But it's only been out for a little over a month now, and I've already have some experience on the track. And especially when I'm driving with my Fanatec wheel, I want to thank our Fanatec affiliates for supporting TCR. And so I appreciate their work. And if you guys are interested in supporting TCR and purchasing Fanatec equipment, you can see in the link below after the live stream, and it'll have a link directly to Fanatec. So they provide a lot of equipment to a lot of our drivers, and we really do appreciate that.
The moment it's not doing microphones, I'm interested. But you know, but yes, the Fanatec wheels, obviously, all some of the great wheels, and I think the great deal they did with the F1 game, which was buy a Fanatec wheel and get the F1 game for only £1 extra, or I don't know if it was $1 for you guys extra. That was a fantastic deal, which sort of brought a lot more people into Formula One games.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I didn't really start getting to Formula One until I start watching online streams and things like that, and then I start buying a wheel myself, and next year, you know, I have a whole grid set up. I'm part of a league, and I'm a part of TCR. I'm part of this whole racing community, so you never know how far you'll go and get involved with and here in Formula One and keep a track of what's going on in the real world.
Hello B, how are you doing? This is great. It feels like an absolute age and a day since I was last here at TCR. Commentating for the Americans, I know I sound very different to what you would normally expect to see on the TCR streams, but I'm happy that you guys invited me back. I mean, I came in on the off chance that I'd do it, and I loved it. I was like, please give me more. I thought this whole season's great. And 15 rounds this season, one more than last season. I mean, it's going to be fun when we get to Monaco.
Oh, absolutely. Monaco is really tests who the real drivers are. You go around all those corners and it's tight chicanes and things like that. That's what you really test it. But Bahrain, it can jump out and catch you sometime, particularly near the backstretch. It's a very sharp up and down turn, and I've seen several drivers on the last two classes, Silver Tuesday and Wednesday with Golden, several drivers spun out there, so I would not be surprised if drivers spin out at the end of Sector 2. So even though we're in the Bahrain, it's fairly pretty wide track, not too much narrowness, but it will still be a difficult track for some drivers. And there are some kinks that you have to be mindful of. And if you lose your front wing here, then it's a long way back to pit road to get that replacement.
It truly is. So we should probably mention the fact that both McLarens are champions. The fact that Joe Breezy is a returning Premier champion after winning it. Did he win it in Russia? I believe he won it in Russia.
I believe so. I think it was confirmed in Russia, yes.
Yes. And his teammate Jones coming up from the Golden Class, taking the step up into Platinum. This will be fun, especially with the fact that these drivers are driving with no assists whatsoever. So Racing Line out the window, breaking all off. You can only admit that as qualifying ends, this is going to be an absolute cracker of a season.
And so far in the in the Red Bull, we have Giant Jones Alex so far is the top of the poll, and we still have a few last rounders here trying to get around, but let's see who gets it. And Seafreeze is in the Toro Rosso. He's in P2, so good crowd so far.
It's interesting to see that the Toro Rosso team retained both their drivers from last season. It shows that they were such a team that worked very well together, weren't they? As we've just passed Talon on board with Seafreeze. So here's my question. I didn't see it at the start of the season last year. Are we going to see Toro Rosso try and dominate this season as they tried to get to at the end of the season last season?
Yeah, even with me, I stay with Alfa Romeo in the Golden class. I thought that was a good fit with me, even though I have a different driver teammate with me. Some people feel more comfortable with certain constructors or vice versa, or certain teammates. I know when I'm driving around in a Renault, the sound of the car is different to me when I'm hitting certain braking points compared to when I'm driving in a Ferrari-powered engine. And so I feel more comfortable with those engines compared to a Mercedes or Renault engine. So it's those small things that drivers like ourselves appreciate about understanding the car more than just jumping in a random team and just hitting the track. There's small little things that we pick up on that makes us feel comfortable or understand the car more, and then, like I said, just jumping in the car.
Most definitely. But looking at it now, look at that. Seafreeze has dropped down to P3, but a bad day for both McLarens, including the returning champion. Joe Breezy is down outside of the top 10, and that's going to be very difficult because this track, yes, you could overtake it, but you still got to make sure that you're clean, and you got to make sure that the car works. So here is the qualifying grid. By 2 tenths, Giant Johnson is in P1 ahead of Double A in P2. Seafreeze is in P3, Badfast is in P4, Lopez is in P5, Mr. Psycho-san is in P6. iRoll is in P7, Talon is in P8, Go To Guy is in P9, Hot Bread is in P10 outside of the points. And with free tyre choice, Xander is in P11, Sean is in P12, Joe Breezy in P13, Jermaine is in P14, Fatal is in P15, Porridge is in P16, Jones is in P17, and Lion brings up the back of the grid into Williams in P18.
This field is absolutely exceptional, and I think it's going to be some pretty tight, action-packed racing. I know that I'll definitely be looking forward to seeing who wins. At this point, I can't determine who's going to win because we do have some new drivers who have never been out on the track that I've personally witnessed. But then at the same time, we got some very, very experienced people out there like Seafreeze and things like that. And we have upcoming champions and defending champions in the field. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
It is such a diverse grid to see different drivers on there, and to see like the emergence of a Swedish flag joining us. So someone else from Europe with me. We got the Mr. Psycho-san, the Portuguese driver. I'm just picking out the drivers who are in Europe. To be honest, I won't be in Europe much longer if the government keeps going how the way they are going, but that can go out the window. But still, I do love commentating over the American League. I love commentating with you, Dre. It's always so fun to hear your excitement. The fact that I'm a complete nutcase who stays up at 1:30 in the morning to commentate on racing cars. Because why not?
Well, here in the United States on the East Coast where I'm at, it's just past 8:30 and 8:38 right now, and this is the evening I look forward to every Thursday. It looks like we're starting a formation lap, and Alex got a little loose on the front straight there. I don't know what he was doing there, weaving back and forth, but I'm excited to see what happens. My expectations are out the window because I simply just do not know what to expect. I do know it'll be a lot of action pack, a lot of fast drivers, but I don't know. Let's see what happens after turn 1.
I tell you what, I've got a few things to bring up. Firstly, I've just noticed that Alex, who is in the Red Bull, is actually running the same number as Seafreeze. So Seafreeze might want to go over there and punch the Red Bull team for stealing his number. But on the subject of Red Bull, might I draw your attention, Dre, to the bottom of the grid now? Because Lion is no longer the bottom of the grid. We do have the number 6 car, the Red Bull car of Professional. He's on track now. So the 007, of course he'd be in Red Bull with that comment, is...
nice.
Is he driving on a base setup?
I don't think I... Possibly. I didn't see him qualifying. I do remember GTR Line was in 18th. He might have joined the lobby later and wasn't able to qualify. That's my only assumption, but I'm not sure.
So it'll be one to look at Professional. We have no standing data about what he could do. These cars look incredibly slippy here on this very lit up circuit in Bahrain. This is going to be fun. Who
And
are
we
you
got
gonna
some
watch?
new drivers as well.
Who are you watching out of all of this, though? Like returning drivers and new drivers, who has captured your attention so far?
A driver that moved up from going into this year, who we did a practice session with, and he just barely outqualified me, but I was pretty close with him. Had some nice action. Is Lopez in the Haas? He's going to make some move that I think will quite surprise you. I believe that he can. He's fully capable of moving up from gold to platinum. So right now, I think my underdog is going to be Lopez starting in P5, but I wouldn't be surprised if Seafreeze and Double A and Bad Fast and Mr. Psycho Sam be up there fighting too. But personally, I like the Haas cars. I've raced them before, and so we'll see what happens.
So as we head to 5 red lights, professional drivers, returning drivers, champions and rookies all on one grid. What will happen as we head towards 5 red lights here in the first round of the Platinum Championship? Here are the lights on. That's 3, 4 and 5. The lights are out. Now a professional with a jump start penalty at the back of the grid. The lights are out and the drivers are away now. It's a great start for Bad Fast in the Mercedes. Already passing C3s, heading towards P2. He's got a good line. He looks to be able to go to the inside B. Bails out of that move as you see Double A passing Johnson into turn 1. And they all charge through, hoping to be all clean. Looks like Lopez had to take to the grass a little bit. Is that Jones?
Yeah, go-to guy, half spin. Go-to guy did a half spin, but he caught the car. He's still alive.
Damage on the front nose by the looks of it. The drivers all filtering through towards the SS section, and there you see Bad Fast getting absolutely bullied by his teammate just slightly there as they all launch for it. It is the first day of school for these guys, so forgive any little niggles you see. And there you see Talon battling with Lopez. So drivers, they've got to remember this is a long season, 15 races, and they've got a fun event coming up in a few races' time. And look at that, Xander already doing his best. But Lopez, big mistake for Lopez, running wide at one of the most difficult corners on the Formula 1 calendar. And he's wide even more as he's alongside Xander, looking towards to pass the Alfa Romeo as quickly as possible. But what a very frantic start. And the Ferrari down the inside of that. And he's spinning. He's doing a great
spin.
Vettel. And he managed to catch it, unlike Sebastian Vettel, as he comes through there, Porridge battling his teammate. Wow, Dre, these guys really have missed me.
Sean still fighting back on the outside. He almost gets the back of his teammate and his fellow Ferrari. He's still fighting, and his other Ferrari teammate, Jeremiah, is fighting side by side with Jones in the McLaren.
What a frantic start as we head on to lap 2 now. Double A.
Easy dives. Sean dives on the inside.
Sector 3, we have a yellow flag. It's go-to guy spinning. He's managed to catch the car though. He must have tried to move there, and that final corner is a treacherous move. But now
he's coming into the pits. He's coming into the pits to probably replace that wing.
Yes. C3 is going now for second place. The Ferrari's still going at it like it's the final race of the season, these two. Guys, you've only just started. Don't break the cars yet. TCR's only just paid them off. The Williams looking to the inside, though. It's Lyon on the inside of Jermaine.
Lopez spins! Lopez spins on turn 3, but he did a quick loop and he's back around. He's fell all the way down to P16, 17, and now 18.
His tyres are not going to enjoy it. Number 21 Haas is not Esteban Gutierrez. It is, in fact, Lopez. Almost called in Talon for a second there.
But he's going to fire back. He's still in there. He's just at the back of the field. Keep those tires cool and watch their pace.
Look at the train forming. Different trains racing now. Talon trying to get some hot air. Trying to get some cool air, into his very, very hot engine as he gets a helmet to match the team as he's alongside Hot Bread, trying to get past the Williams. Again, what a frantic start. It's only lap 2 and it feels like we've been going forever. These guys are fantastic.
If Talon gets a good run off this last exit, he might be in a good shot of that pass on the front straightaway in turn 1. You just got to stay close to him. I'm sure next lap with DRS. Oh!
Xander spin him! That's going straight to the stewards. You can see that. Is he lifting off?
And I think he slowed down. I think he slowed down to try to let him back through. I think he realized his mistake on that. Keep in mind, I'm a steward for the Platinum class, so I'm definitely keeping an eye on things.
And look at that, Jones trying to go around the outside now of the Toro Rosso. Remember, the Toro Rosso running Honda power versus the McLaren running Renault power. Looking very strong.
GTR just made a great move on the outside of Sean in that Ferrari, so he's making some headway as well.
Lopez in pit lane to repair his broken front wing. But what a start to the season this has already been. How many times can I say, here's Mr. Psycho-san, the Portuguese driver on the back of iRoll now.
It's always interesting to see a Mercedes chasing down a Racing Point car. You know, we see in real life how it's usually the other way around, but it's interesting to see, even as equal cars, you can support certain teams that you normally would be rooting for.
Yes, I'm definitely not. I definitely haven't bought a Williams and a Toro Rosso T-shirt. What are you on about?
But so far, Double A
I haven't bought
has
him
commanded
yet.
the lead when he got into turn one. So he's so far got a 1.3 second. Seafreeze is not in DRS range, so he's going to have a pace to catch back up with them. However, in third place, Alex is in DRS range of Seafreeze, and he just got the fastest lap, and he might be making a move here in turn one. He's coming up on the fast. He's looking on the inside. Decides not to, but Mr. Sakose makes the move on the outside on Roll. Let's see if he can make it clean. Roll's going to fight on the outside. He's going to squeeze him into turn two, but Mr. Sakose, they touch.
That was very nasty.
Roll fights back.
Mr.
They're still side by side.
Now,
let's see on the outside.
From the view of the stewards.
Just barely.
Oh, I think in fairness,
Mr. Sakose just gets it.
In fairness, Mr. Sakose did a good job there. Talon's had an accident. So is Professional. So Jones. Jones in the barrier. The season 7 gold champion is into the barrier. Wow,
I think he lost a bit of front wing. I see some front wing there, or was that's Talion? That's Talion lost some front wing.
Roll's in trouble.
Must have been involved there.
Roll's in trouble with his brakes, so they're overheating because he's not getting any strips now. He'll be passed by Hot Bread. I do apologise for the lag in the lobby. That's me. Now down the inside comes. I think Roll's going to have a word with this talent. What's happening?
Hot Bread was right under Roll right there.
I think what happened there was that Talon made contact with Jones, and Jones has just gone straight through, passing Talon, because there was a little weave there. But both of these guys will be taking a trip to pit lane in a fair few meters.
It is still very, very tight among all the drivers. Most of them are within DRS range.
It is, and this is what we love about the Platinum class. They can run so closely together on equal cars. It is a bit like bumper cars, but to be honest, the steward sat next to me. He'll set a precedent as soon as he has a look at any of the rules. As you see, Seafreeze has been passed now, finally, by Alex. Hot Bread is fighting.
On the outside,
Roll,
on the outside.
I don't know how I feel about Roll battling on that Mercedes as hard as he did last time round.
Yes, well, the first 10 are in their own train, but then behind them, from 10th on down, we got Xandemar and GT. GT passes Xandemar on the inside. Now he's going to lead the second train here with all the other back markers.
C3 is 2 tenths away. We just had someone comment, Chad, saying, why does iRoll hate Portuguese people? Very simply, he doesn't. He races alongside him. If he hated them, he wouldn't race with them. C3 is now on the inside of Johnson, trying to get past him as quickly as possible. And he does. Look at that, the 2 Red Bull teams. Forcing Johnson wide.
Off the track.
That's
all right. He's back on track.
That was a little bit cheeky there from Seafreeze. But you got to say, I tell you what, when we get 5 minutes, I'll give you a bit of F1 trivia. But that's if we ever get to that 5 minutes. It looked to be that there was a racing point there as we were on board with Breezy that went a little bit sideways there. Demo Derby? No, it's not Demo Derby, my friend. It's Formula E. That's what it is. Joe Breezy down the inside now of Hot Bread in the Williams, and the Williams just has no answer to the McLaren straight line speed as Giant hits. So okay, so we're reaching the point where drivers are starting on the soft tyres. Remember, only 3 compounds of tyres we're seeing this time in 2019. See Porridge down the inside.
Interesting, because I thought these tires can go a little bit further, maybe lap 8 to 9, possibly 10 if you really keep them, and then go to the hards, because the hards can go 20 laps. I thought that was their initial plan. That's what I've tried before in practice, and it's been successful at some cases, but I see these guys are racing pretty aggressively, trying to maintain their lead, so they might have worn off a lot faster than expected. As we got Fatal get on the outside there, he's made some moves.
Yes, the Haas as trying to overtake, as the Renault did, on the Williams as quickly as possible. Frankie Cast saying that it's probably a 2-stopper. Yes, that's probably a shout there. Watching all these drivers, it was a 2-stop race, I think, in IRL F1 racing, wasn't it? All those months ago. Oh,
So far, the
Hards
biggest
will not
mover.
make it to the end from now. I really much doubt that the Hards will make it to the end from now. But no, go on with what you were about to say about the information about the biggest mover of the race.
Biggest mover of the race so far is Porridge, and P6 made up 10 spots so far. Granted, 2 of those recently came into pit, but 10 spots so far, only in lap 7. That's really impressive.
On the
Biggest
stream.
loser, Alex, but he just came into the pit, so we'll see once everything pans out.
So a golden class driver is now saying that the 2-stop is not the way to go. The stream's still on board with Fatal as he gets looked at it, but we're actually going to jump board and go have a look at Porridge. So I tell you what, Breezy is not enjoying that McLaren this time round, is he?
No. Breezy is going to certainly have to fight.
On board with the Williams now offline as he goes side by side with Zandamar. Zandamar, who's on the hard compounder tires, will ask him how they're feeling in 20 laps time. But look at that, Lion just cannot get past him. And that's the difficulty. It's just as easy to catch up with someone, but it's a very different thing to try and overtake that person on the track when they don't want to be overtaken.
No, it's one thing to defend. It's one thing to be aggressive. I mean, the etiquette of driving and defending your position, at some point you're just going to have to realize that the driver behind you is faster and you're holding up a giant train of cars that are probably really angry with you, but you have to decide, whether to let that car go or maybe get him back another time, or you stand your ground and keep fighting. But at the same time, when you're racing behind your mirror, you forget about the guy in front of you, and so you lose time there too. So what do you do?
Sorry to interrupt you. I roll just chucky up the inside of a very difficult corner there, and we caught it all on stream. What a fantastic move! I do apologise for the interruption.
Looking back. Roll
that was a little bit cheeky again with the moving in the braking zones there from my roll. But then again, Mr. Psycho-san, he's in trouble. He's crashed it. What on earth happened there?
You got a 5-second time penalty on my end, entering the pits too fast.
I got that too, but he was suddenly inside the commentary booth where we were for a moment there. Giant Alex is the fastest man on track. Giant Alex, Giant Johnson. Is that a sporting reference that I don't know about?
Yes. Luckily, there are 3 DRS zones here. We got a comment. Yes, there are 3 DRS zones, basically 1 in each sector. So it'd be a good advantage for drivers to kind of flex their muscles and straightaway speed and see if they can make a pass on the inside. And I'm riding along with iRoll, making a move on Lopez. Going to move on the inside of turn 3. Can he hold it? Lopez is on the outside, and he gets iRoll 14.
Do apologise there for the slight lag on my end. Again, I do apologise. Now, here's the question that I want to ask you with the fact that IndyCar, I know as an American you're very much into your motor racing and all that. I don't know how much you're into IndyCar because I haven't spoken to you for a while and I feel very bad. Lopez almost running to the back of the racing point. What is your views on the fact that IndyCar in a few years' time, in 2022, will be swapping to hybrid-powered cars?
Well, that's interesting because I do know they're also, IndyCar is part of the FIA governing body, and so they do see a lot of stuff vice versa. Formula One did the halo. Now IndyCar next year is going to do the glass panel, kind of half cut-off thing, along with a halo. And so they do share some information. I think it'll be interesting if they go with the hybrid engine. But living here in Indianapolis, I've been to the track where I can hear those high-powered engines go around at 225 plus miles per hour. So it'll be interesting to hear a hybrid-powered engine. I don't know what that would sound like up close, but I think it'll be interesting.
I have had extensive knowledge with different racing cars in my time. I actually, last weekend, I marshalled a historic Formula 1 Grand Prix as well as a historic Formula 2 Grand Prix. And they sounded phenomenal. I also was on track while Jackie Stewart was driving his Matra from 1970-something. And that was an experience to see a legend driving a car. So I've seen that, but I've also spectated these hybrid Formula 1 cars personally. And I'll tell you what, nothing compares to a stonking great big V8. And I like electric cars.
Yes, and actually, Formula E is one of the most exciting races for the close proximity to each drivers and a lot of the short kinks. And you don't have to depend on high-power engines to gain such a big gap compared to Formula One. It's always knuckle bones every single lap, every single corner.
Ferraris going at it once more. It appears that I have a bunch of lag coming off Sean. I do apologise for that. I don't know what my internet's been doing today. It's not been enjoying itself at all. But we have C3's Double A and Hotbread all in pit lane at this time. DRS open on Johnson as he gets to gets to try and go 3 wide with Jermaine. 3 wide, 2 Ferraris, 1 Honda power car to the inside.
Oh, 3 wide, 3 wide. We got a Red Bull come on the outside. I didn't even see that. Oh, he's still on the inside, the Ferraris. Oh, Jermaine loses out to both Alex and Sean, his teammate in the Red Bull, who was now most likely one here at the lead here with the Red Bull. But he does have a time penalty, so let's see how that affects.
What?
The Red Bull in the 7 is sliding all over the place. He must have come to pit here shortly because the leader has already been past him, the presumptive leader, excuse me.
That was a very odd moment there from the leading Ferrari. I believe it's the 41 car, Sean. But he just sort of, that wasn't slick. It was almost like major lag. I'm getting some major lag here, but nonetheless.
Here comes Double A.
Whoa.
On the
your voice is back. Hello.
Second PA. Came out of nowhere. So these guys have already just pitted, and you could clearly see that their tires have warmed up, and compared to the ones drivers still on their 10-lap tires. So, so far from that soft to hard is working out.
It really is, but at the same time, look at Double A now as he passes up Sean. This will be a very aggressive concept as he goes down inside. We do have the Christmas TCR glitch on Double A's tyres. I do apologise for that. He is, in fact, on hard compound tyres. So if you look at the car and it's showing the soft compounded tyres, you know that he's on the hard compound tyres by looking at the tower on our left side of the screen. But
the Ferrari is in the pit now. He's going to replace those thin laps medium tires, and he's going to go to the hards. He is going to the hards. So all of these soft tire drivers are off the track.
I'll tell you who's on an absolute charge, and that's Giant Johnson. He was on pole position, and look at him. He's still making a move. He's back in the top 5, even after pitting, and everyone else hasn't pit. He's turned up like he's at his Sunday morning shopping, and he realises the Grand Prix is on, and he's late.
And he's going to make a move. He's still looking on GTR here. Alexander Mars make a big slide there. I'm running about him. But
Zandemar's on hards as well.
Giant, Jones, Johnson, Alex.
If Zandemar's, Sean and Go-To Guy going out, if Zandemar's sliding and he's on hard tyres now, and they've done 9 laps, and he's in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got side-by-side action that ended in contact there between Go-To Guy and Sean, right at the bottom of the grid in P16 and P17. Nothing drastic, but a little kiss on the side pods of the Alfa Romeo to the Ferrari. Maybe he was signing it for him.
Well, as a Alfa Romeo driver myself, I can understand.
Sorry, I'm a Ferrari driver as well, so it's even more awkward.
if Go-To maybe a little frustrated about that, but that's okay. I think he got some contact early on. He's just trying to make the best way he can with the tires, and the fastest lap goes to our pole sitter with a 131. So that's a pretty fast lap, especially as they burn off a lot of their fuel and start getting a rhythm more.
Don't worry, as we get to the end of the race, we will check out who has the fastest lap, so I'm sure everyone can work out whether the fastest lap point is going to any of the drivers within the top 10. Hotbread passing up Professional as he goes into pit lane. But again, these Ferraris are becoming quite a nuisance to some of these drivers. They're trying to get past them, and they're not letting them go, are they?
We got a comment from Ho who did really well yesterday. I think he won. I can't remember, to be honest with you. He says as long as Double and Freeze get through the traffic and don't battle much, they should be able to hold out. So
we have a yellow flag.
Don't forget that Sector 2. Let's check that out.
Green flags now waving. Oh no, Jermaine's gone very deep on his tyres. He's had a big oversteer moment. Again, turning whilst braking. By the looks of it, he had a big lock-up, and it ended up with him going off to the track. Off to the track? Off the track. There we go.
And P7, we got Double A trying to get past the more slower cars who haven't pitted yet, like Zandamar and GTR. He's getting past the Zandamar, and GTU is just an insight right ahead, and he just...
speaking of pitting, Porridge is now a race leader as Giant Johnson gets past Fatal, who is pitted, and the same with Breezy. Again, this is such an interesting thing, but look at that Seafreeze, again, showing what he did last season, very quick in the race, struggled a bit in qualifying, but he's having some fun here in TCR.
He's not that far from the leaders at all. He's certainly within 3 to 4 seconds, and if he could maintain this pace, and like I said, that Alex has a time penalty, he should be in good shape. He might actually be up there with W, and as H comment below. So as they stay within that 5-second race, they really just have to determine who's the actual winner. But the ideal position is to try to catch up and pass him, because they'll definitely know for sure who will win the race.
Oh, thank you, Sauna, for enjoying the commentary. I always try my best whenever I come here to TCR. You guys give me a nice hold. We have a sector 1 yellow flag. That's Go To Guy. Go To Guy's had a big accident. He's off in the grass. Luckily to get that car restarted, he's back going. Is that front wing absolutely gone? It is no. He still has the front wing. Must have just been a big oversteer moment. Again, these cars incredibly difficult to drive. Lack of downforce versus last year, and a new handling model midway through the game's lifespan did not help it. I roll on the attack on Mr. Psycho-san now to the inside of the Mercedes. Got to get through quickly, but I roll has been the centre of a few bits of controversy already this season, and we're only in round 1.
Oh, yeah,
what
so far he's still
move,
fighting back on the outside. Still, the Frenchman is not giving up at all.
Is he French or is he French Canadian? Because he runs with the Canadian flag.
French Canadian, excuse me. I believe French Canadian.
That's absolutely fine. It's interesting to see different things because, again, you can make a joke, you can make comments, American Italian or Italian Mexican. You know, it's interesting to see different kinds of different people running under different licenses. But Mr. Psycho-san, the Portuguese driver, which already is Portuguese, is coming right back at him, coming down the inside of the number 12 car. He's not giving that up as Psycho-san tries it. But
here's the interesting thing.
Go on.
Here's the interesting thing. Just about every single driver except for Iroll and Alex are on the hard tires. Everyone's on the hard tires. They're playing the long game. They did the one stop. I'm not sure if Alex can make it all the way with those tires, and plus he has a 5-second time penalty. Those medium tires can go to about maybe 13 to 15 laps on a decent condition. The hards definitely can go over 20 laps, but he's only a few seconds, 2 seconds ahead of AA, who's on the hards, along with Seafreeze. I don't know if our pole sitter and current leader is going to be able to make it to the end. He might pull something off, but that is going to be difficult.
It really will be interesting, but that's the thing with Platinum. It always gives us a fantastic race and always shows us that we don't know who's going to win the race right up until, guess what, the checkered flag falls.
Yes, and also, too, something to point out, we do not have any DNFs so far this race. Every driver is on the track, at least fighting for something. Even professional, all the way back.
He had to go and say that there's been no DNFs.
I'm sorry?
Because you said there's no DNF, the entire grid's now just going to get hit by a meteor, right?
Hopefully that doesn't happen, but like I said, this is our Premier League, so these are very talented drivers, and I think hopefully all drivers will make it to the end. But certainly so far, driver I had hopes for was Lopez. Unfortunately, got into an incident early on, so the go-to guy and professional, I think he had a default setting, so I don't think he was able to put his personal setup on, so he's dealing with that. Italian, he's catching up on going for a P15 here on Jones, and he did it on the front, gets it on the front stretch into turn 1. The Ferrari cars, let's see if they can get some points today, but so far they're outside. GT in the Williams, he started in the back. Actually, he started P18, he's up to P12, so he's making some moves and inroads as well. And his teammate Hot Bread is the last driver in the points. So let's see what happened. And Mr. Psycho saying is still fighting with Iroll. He's got about a second on it, but Porridge is right behind him.
Yes, Porridge in the Renault, looking to join in the play with the Mercedes. I think the Mercedes might be struggling on tyre grip at all, completely. He is... I don't know, he was able to battle a lot more against Iroll, but now he seems to be falling back. But then again, that might just be Iroll's natural pace in that Racing Point car.
Yes, also to keep in mind, he is the other than the leader, he's the other driver who has medium tires, so his pace might be a little bit faster because of that. But again, he's on 9 laps on those mediums compared to Mr. Psycho-san, who's on 8 laps on the hard. And we got Porridge making a move here on the inside, and Mr. Psycho saying turn one. Nope, he backs out of it. Backs out of it.
He did have to bail out of that one. He saw that if he had gone to the inside there, he would have ended up right in the radiator of Mr. Psycho-san, and decided not to. But
and the second DRS zone, he's going to look now on turn 3. He's definitely going to make the move now. And that's a clean pass, but Mr. Psycho-san's kind of going to try to fight back here, but I think he's going to let him go.
Especially through this SS section here. He's hoping and praying that he can grip on, and Porridge, again, he didn't actually get away, though, from him. So you might be able to get him on the corner exits. If you can get him into this corner, particularly here. This is incredibly difficult braking zone, and Porridge has made a mistake. Exactly as I predicted, there would be a mistake somewhere from one of them. DRS open though, as Psycho-san looking to the inside. He's gonna have to make a move or bail out. He does make the move, or attempts to make the move, and they go side by side, but he does ultimately fall foul of the Renault. What a fantastic bit of racing though there.
Yeah, he had to back out of there real quick. I didn't think he put enough power in, but that's okay. He was playing playing it soft at the moment, so I think that was the best decision for him.
So here's on board with Jones. He's just been passed by Go-To Guy in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, dear, excuse me. And he's looking to get through quicker and quicker, but he has Lopez right behind him.
Xandamar's in the pits. He's going to go into the mediums.
That'll go, yeah.
He might be doing the two-stop. That was an interesting play there.
This will be interesting to see, especially down here at this battle between the number 45 and number 21. The number 21 has got much better grip because Jones has been on those tyres for a record or anything, a 12-lap stint, and he's looking very comfortable, though, as he's looking to the inside. No,
got a bit of a train here going on. Lopez.
He's done it! Or he tried to.
Lopez is going to try to fight back on the outside, get the second DRS, and he does get a better run. He has the DRS engaged.
It's going to be tight here between two
he's going to take out
P16. Cars. That Haas looks fantastic in the darkness, though, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It's interesting to see how all these drivers are reacting. Again, this is the first time we've seen, at least I've seen these drivers take these cars out for a spin on the track, and they are doing fantastic. We are 17 laps into a 29-lap race, and we've got all 19 drivers still running. GTR Lion, is under pressure from Zandamar, who has just pitted. So Zandamar pitting did not drop that far out of the points at all.
No, when he came out, he was actually in turn 1 right behind GT, and actually AA and Seafreeze are balanced side by side. They're going squabbling. They switch enough between turn 1. Seafreeze is not in DRS range, so he can't make a move again, but he's going to try to look on the outside, try to cut back in, get back to the throttle, see if he can catch back up, and try to go at it in another DRS range.
Right there now is Seafreeze as he tries to get to the back of AA again, a little bit further back. Let's go on board with Mr. Psycho-san, who cannot pass, but there's Xander in the background battling on with Lion. Lion getting oh so close to the curve.
Side by side.
DRS open though.
Xanamar gets the DRS.
And he's going to go around the outside, I think, and Lion's going to have to concede that position so far. And he does. Seafreeze is not leaving AA alone,
came back in. Oh yeah, he's going to fight back. But that's an interesting play by Xandamar going to get the mediums. He didn't lose that much time though.
Not at all, do excuse me as I'm sipping my coffee. I think I burnt my mouth as well. That's really annoying. Looks like the one thing I use all the time. Seafreeze though, he's on the run. I think right now he's the faster driver out of the pair of them, isn't he?
Well, yes, I think at the moment, especially he has DRS in the DRS, and he is going to look on the front straight again. AA is blocking hard on the inside. It's going to make him go on the outside, but he just clean sails Seafreeze on the outside, and he comes back in to block the inside. AA going to try to do a switchback, can't quite do it. Try to switch back again to try to get the momentum, but no, can't do it. Seafreeze is going to get that distance on him and try to chase down the leader. So, like Ho said, if they don't battle too hard and they stay within 5 seconds of Alex, then Seafreeze will possibly win this race. I'm not plugging to Seafreeze's ears, but I would just tell them, just keep pushing ahead. But also, too, Alex, is on the medium tires with 13 laps compared to Seafreeze and AA for 9 laps on hard tires. So that's why they're still in range of Alex.
So to the Gold Stewards, you have to give Dre a penalty for the next race purely for driver coaching. It's all right. The gaps are now starting to form though in this race, and only a few battles on track between Mr. Psycho-san right now and AA as he tries to hang on to the back of Seafreeze. Mr. Psycho-san clipping the curb and having to go a little bit seesaw on the steering wheel. HO now coming on to the into the chat saying that he'll need to pit, saying Alex will need to pit or he will explode. So let's have a look at his tyres. They don't look very healthy, and he is actually heeding that advice now and goes straight to the pit lane. And Jermaine with a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. That's a difficult one. He's off the track though. Oh, okay. So Jermaine got it a little bit wrong at the very difficult left-hander, and it looks like they've handed him a 5-second penalty for it, and that's very harsh by the game.
Well, it looks like either it'll come down to Seafreeze or AA, but Bad Fast and the Mercedes is not too far behind. Yes, there's still 9 laps to go, but it's going to be interesting. I feel sorry for Alex. He tried to go to the softs to the mediums that didn't quite work out for him. I think I kind of knew that the best strategy was from the soft to the hard, which majority of the drivers went with. And yeah, it was a tough break for him, but I think he'll still be able to manage to get some points here. So far, it's in P7.
Big snipe and AA.
And they are duking out for
onto the
P1.
DRS straight. Yeah, and look at that. Badfast is sitting there thinking, okay, you two keep going. Oh, as I knock everything over. You two keep going as hard as you want. I'm just going to sit here and keep my tyres nice and fresh for when you guys eventually spin out and crash. But look at that. AA. I don't know where to go. Again, this is exactly what TCR does to me. I don't know who's going to win this race, who's the faster driver at this point, because these two seesaw about who's fast enough, don't they?
Right, and so far, to my recollection, Seafreeze or AA do not have any time penalties, but the advantage for AA is he can ride in Seafreeze's slipstream and get the DRS and save a lot of his ERS. So he can save it and bank it for the next final laps here, or he can push and try to get the lead now. But he doesn't want to let Seafreeze get away at all.
Let's have a look at who's got the fastest lap on the track right now. The fastest lap actually is Bad Fast, a 1:30.991. So we'll see whoever Bad Fast does get the fast. I believe you're doing a fast lap point this season, aren't you?
I believe so. I believe just like in Formula One, you have to be in the top 10, finish in the top 10 to get that extra points.
Yeah, they didn't give me.
Can't remember the top 10.
They gave me a book right in when I first started at TCR, which was about 35 pages long about what to read and how to learn everything and make sure it's right. This season they gave me one page, and that was "Don't screw it up." Speaking of not screwing things up, AA is right up to the back of Seafreeze. What a transition there.
He has to stay with them.
DT3
also,
car
look,
is...
you got
Go on.
Mr. Psycho Sane is also looking pretty hard on Portage right now.
Oops.
The Mr. Psycho Sane tires are a little bit worn than Portage, but also too you got Alex with those medium tires trying to take both of them. So if things work out, he might come back to P5. So that'll be interesting for him.
If Alex has enough space and speed, he may even get into the top 4 if he's lucky with tire degradation. He's going to get close. But right now he's got to deal with the Mercedes in front of me. No, Mr. Psycho-san does not like being overtaken whatsoever. But Johnson, he kisses him. He's giving him a nice kiss on the gearbox. Just letting you know he's there. Luckily, there's no damage on that car, though.
Yeah, that was straight on the nose right there, and that's the only way he'd be able to do that. Otherwise, he would have got some damage there. Oh, Portage.
They're not doing this,
It's a 3-wide battle for P5.
Oh,
Alex. And Mr. Psycho-san cuts under. It takes over P5, and Alex loses a bit of his front wing there.
And Alex may be the race over. I rolled. It's now the fastest man on track at 1:29.5 as he passes Sean. So I love it when you see drivers that race and they actually still get the fastest lap even when they're overtaking people. Speaking of fastest, Talon being passed by Lopez. Look at the top 2. 3/10 separating them. Who is going to win this race? Is it going to be either one of these two, Seafreeze or AA, or is it going to be Bad Fast? He's in P3. I tell you what, In a some universe right now, Joe Breezy is thinking, "Ooh, I could win this race if I'm lucky."
Yeah, it's hopefully no penalties, but again, here comes Alex with the DRS range looking on Portage. I don't know if his pace is still going to be 100% since he lost a bit of his wing, but he's still in this fight. He's going to make the undercut on Portage, but he's not. He's going to cut back and see if he can do something on the front straight away.
He's not happy, is he, Alex in the Red Bull after that
I would
after
not,
that moment? Yeah. He's really not. You can tell by the way he's driving.
It's interesting. Portage is trying to get past Mr. Cycle saying, while at the same time Jones is trying to get around both of them. So you have this three-wide battle here, and there's going to be a loser, of course, but let's see what happens. And Mr. Cycle saying he cannot get DRS. He's far behind, and here we are. DRS is engaged. Portage makes a move, and here comes Alex three-wide. No.
I think that's all fair in love and war there. I think get closer. Now that
Mr. Cycle saying
in my
gets
book,
a little bit of Alex there.
Yeah, in my book, that was Alex not realizing that Psycho-san was there, and he had to just let him through.
Yeah, he ended back out of there. I think he tried to cut back in, but and cut Mr. Psycho-san off there a little bit. But I think the best thing for Mr. Psycho-san to do is just to maintain to the last 6-7 laps here.
Not long to go.
Alex is still on Portage.
Not long to go in this race. I'll tell you what, Alex is going to be like Max Verstappen there, looking at the Renaults thinking, I really don't like you. You took away my fun teammates.
And also, too, Portage does not have DRS, and so that's going to be bad for him on straight line speed.
He may not have DRS, but he's got some fantastic wings on those cars, hasn't he? But Double A now on the run.
Oh, yes.
He's close. This could actually be a change for the lead now. Double A has got a chance. It's going to be very, very late dive if he can. The 83 car looking to the inside.
Middle of the road.
He can't make a move again.
Brakes late. Going to cut on the inside. Cut back on that side. Nope, not quite there yet. But he's in DRS range again. He's going to maintain. C-Freeze is going to be the middle of the road. He's going to block either which way he goes. Effective strategy for C-Freeze. Let's see how things go. About 5 laps to go.
In all of this, Giant Johnson Alex has actually overtaken Porridge finally. So Porridge, the Canadian, has been dropped down one further position. And now what can Double A do? His teammate Renault having a good day. 2 cars in the points right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's doing really great right now. It looks like it's about one in every team. Well. Yes. Also, Mercedes both are in the points today as well.
Oh, yes, I do apologise. But now Seafreeze under pressure. But you've got to really be within that 3/10 little barrier onto the start-finish straight and you'll get it. But through here with worn tyres, as we're right on board with Double A, it gets difficult. You touch that curb, you're round. You're in the barrier. You're off. You're spinning so far. You're off in China.
Especially that inner curve right there. If you touch it and slightly mount it, your whole rear would just come right behind you.
Speaking of mounting, Lion has just been completely decimated by I rolled just with the fastest tyres. He's just showing it. He wants the points. He's got time. He's got an 8 and a day left of this race. On the soft tyres, he's looking to pass Fatal and get into the points. And that'll be good. A good recovery drive after a quite messy race for iRoll.
Yeah, he's been up and down the track here and getting position, lose position here and there, getting into fights and things like that. But that's okay. iRoll, he likes to stick his arm out sometime and extend his reach at time, but that's okay.
Are you sure his reach is extending? It might be more of a digit that he's extending sometimes. Mr. Psycho-san into pit lane now for the hard compound tyres apparently. But he's being held.
Yes, I think he was pushing his car a little too much. Maybe he's going to try to go for the points, but I think he was in P7th, P8th. I think.
Yes, he was.
That's a long way to make back up.
It's the professional. He's out of the race. Our first DNF right at the end of the race. And where is that? We're coming through the final corner now where the yellow flag zone is. What has happened to the Red Bull? He's had a big accident and his car is broken.
Spun after the last corner. That sucks. He probably touched one of those strips and lost the back end there, especially with worn tires. Those are unfortunately can happen. Sector
2 is now shouting that there's yellow flags there as well. Maybe a marshal drops his water bottle. I can't insult the marshals, I am one. But Steve, I tell you what, Steve Freezer might be in the best position of the race right now. He's still going.
He's in prime position. He's actually extended his lead to 0.7 7/10 of a second off, but Double A is still in DRS range.
And
He's actually coming up to back markers now.
So blue flags are now going to be in effect for the Ferrari of Jermaine when they get to him. That's going to get very interesting because he essentially has the outcome of the race in his little Italian hands, and this could go. Well, sorry, he's Swedish. There's these little Swedish hands, and this could go any way if he decided that he doesn't want the other Italian team to win, or if he wanted the French to win. You know, take your pick.
I think he'll be smart and try to find a straightaway to kind of get out the way. But if he's in the corner, that can definitely impact the race, and that'll be a very, very bad thing to do. Almost certainly with the consequences of penalties. But if he just gets out the way on the front straightaway, yeah, I think he'll be fine. And Xandamar makes a power move on the outside on Hot Bread for P7.
Once again, I apologise for the interference with the headset. On our way though is Hot Bread has been overtaken. Xandamar doing his best to try and stay there. Xandamar and Hot Bread have sort of been. I think these two might go for the rest of the season. They seem to be similar paces, and they might be enjoying themselves.
Oh yeah.
Hello to everyone who's joined us in the chat. I know it's late for me, but I know it's about late for you. I think you'd call 8 p.m. We're heading towards 9 p.m. late, wouldn't we?
Yeah, pretty late in the evening, but that's okay.
Some of us are old. We're meant to be in bed by now. I've made a little old man nap, so I'm fine. I'm actually nursing a tattoo right now, so I wouldn't be able to sleep anyway.
Is extending his lead.
I still don't think
extending his lead.
I don't want to call it. I will not call it until the final corner of the final lap.
Right.
I really will.
He's did a pretty good job.
They are getting closer to the Ferrari, and just think, look at Joe Breezy. He started outside of the points, and he's currently in P4. This would be the best P4 of his life, especially seeing as he is the defending champion. It shows he has got the wiggle room to work with qualifying, and now is where Jermaine needs to think, right, maybe I should lift off and let these guys through, because these guys are the leaders.
Yeah, and Joe Breezy is actually not too far behind Badfast, so he can possibly take that last podium position. Badfast is going to have to work for it, though.
I believe Mr. Psycho-san has just stolen the fastest lap as well, which means that no one will get it in the points. Let's have a check. Yes, he has. A 129.1 is the fastest lap now, and that is due to the Portuguese driver in P15. But penalties can be applied. Blue flags now waving for Jermaine. He has got to get out of the way, and he does get out of the way. A very well done there for the Ferrari man to make sure that he doesn't get involved in this colossal battle.
DRS because of that. Seafreeze gets DRS because of that. And now it looks like he's extending a little bit. He might just be outside DRS range for the second DRS zone. But I don't know yet. Nope. Double A is still within the range. We got 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go.
I'm going to join in with the chat here. Hello from England. Do you want to join in, Dre? We say hello from different places.
Oh, yes. At Casino Square, apparently, this time.
So, the colossal battle for P1 is sort of edging towards the Italian team. And what a start this would be to a season that could go the way of Steve Freeze. What can Steve Freeze do? He's still got time to go, and there's still time to make mistakes. We are on the penultimate lap of the race. 2 more tours of this, well, 1.5 now, because we're heading towards the halfway mark in all of this. Psycho-san has passed Talon for P15, only the one retirement in this race, and that was the professional, 00 professional, who is in the Red Bull.
I'm looking at Roll here, trying to go for P8. It makes a move on the inside of Hot Bread. What a clean move on the inside there. That was a pretty nice move. I looked on the inside, but then he jumped on the outside. That was a very nice move there.
Hello to your bedroom. Yes, this race is going on to it. We are now on to the final lap of the race now, and the race is still not done. Will it be Renault? Will it be Toro Rosso? And look at that double A.
Oh, it's right on his back bumper. He's going to throw everything out he can this time. This is it.
This is where it ends in tears or ends in delight for one of these teams. I tell you who's thinking about this. It could be bad.
Oh, the Renault lost the back end there. He lost the back end. Double A.
Is that it? Is that the race done?
I don't know how you get all that momentum back. It's about a second now.
To be fair,
He
right
was
now,
right on his back bumper in turn one,
isn't he?
No, I think he'll be smart. I think he's not gonna count his chickens just quite yet.
Johnson
But
with
he's
a time
gonna play
penalty.
it smooth, and he's gonna keep pushing forward. But Joe Breezy is making a move on Bad Fast. He might be able to make the last pass before this is over. He's in DRS range, closer than Seafreeze in AA.
I don't think Joe Breezy has got any more time to find. I think he's going to finish in P4, but now we're going to look towards the front of the grid because Seafreeze has only got to go up round the back straight now. This is a very simple couple of corners now. There's a 1 second gap, barring any penalties that we haven't noticed. We might see Seafreeze coming to win the race. Is he going to win the race? He comes through the final corner now. It's been a stonking race, as always, and he's weaving, he's happy, he knows he's going to win the race. The 22 car
Joe
is
Breezy,
victorious.
make the move. Joe Breezy passes on the last lap, and he's going to hit P3. Let's see penalties.
It's
last corner pass.
Oh,
no! Penalties.
I do stand corrected,
so
though. I do
Belfast
apologize.
Does maintain third. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It was close. I was watching the whole time.
Our pole sitter is going to finish in P5, Giant Johnson, but he crashes out. He's not happy. The Red Bull Tearings have had a nightmare. He's probably sat there in his helmet yelling to the team, I should have won that race. Why did you do that to my strategy? Lion now is going to finish off in P11, just outside the top 10. And what a... Oh, it's
Sean, side by side for
Bull.
P12. Between Lopez and Sean. Let's see who gets it. It's the Haas. The Haas. No, it's Sean. I think the Haas had some time penalties for Lopez. I think he had some penalties.
We've got some tremendous crashing right now on the start. Talon, his teammate won the race, but he finished in P15. Go-to guy is going to be our next finisher in P16, and then Jones, the Season 7 gold champion, will finish in P17. He's going to be thinking, what went wrong in this race? What can I fix for the next round? But what a phenomenal event.
Yeah, it was a lot of commotion in the first few laps, a lot of chip wings and things like that. So a lot of Premier drivers, unfortunately, got the bad end of things. But I think it was still a great race overall. And let's run through the winners here.
So, 2 Americans and a Canadian. It is Bad Fast in P3, AA in P2, and Seafreeze taking the first stab at the Premier Classes Season 8 campaign. Is this the year of a Honda power unit taking the win?
Possibly. It's a great win for Seafreeze. He's the owner of our league here. So starting off strong, and he's already a 2-time champion, so looking for his third.
He's also the boss, so we can't insult him. So, completely lost that. So I can't say any barring any serious investigations because there's no way. Chad saying our Bahraini shareholders won't be happy with McLaren's performance this week. I think they'll be happy with this, but we have been sent back to the lobby now, so we will.
Yeah, so we couldn't get final results there, unfortunately. Were you able to get them?
No, but I will get an image of the car that won the race, and that is a Toro Rosso, up on screen, and we can have a little chat about this race, because that was a phenomenal opening to the season 8 campaign of TCR. It really was, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think I have a little bit of. So we got Seafreeze as the winner here, and I'm trying to make out for the last of the drivers, but unfortunately lost out on that image. But that's okay. I thought it was overall a great race. How about yourself?
I think that was a fantastic way. No other way to start the season than at Bahrain with a bunch of American and North American drivers, I will name them, and a few Europeans going at it like it's a normal Sunday for them. I really have missed TCR, and I didn't realise how much I missed it until we really sat down and we started this, and I got very excited. But I don't know about you, I could do with some more. Why don't you have a check out on the YouTube channel and look at the other past recordings of this league, and look at the we've got the silver class and the platinum class, and the gold class other streams up there to watch. Maybe you should follow those ones as well. When does silver class race again?
We'll be at Australia next week. We'll be at Australia.
So we're heading down under for the Australian Grand Prix. So I assume I'll be having you on commentary with me again, Dre.
Yes, I believe so. And actually, I do have the rundown of the finishers here. Sorry about that for the delay. We have Seafreeze in the Toro Rosso. And then P2 we had Double A. P3 we had Bad Fast. P4 we had Joe Breezy, who had a 3-second time penalty. P5 we had Giant Johnson Alex, who had a 3-second time penalty. P6 Porridge. P7 Xandamar. P9 Hot Bread. P10 we have Fatal. P11 GTR Light, and then 12 Sean, 13 Lopez, 14 Mr. Cycle State. I can't get everyone else below, but that's what I have so far.
I think barring any last lap conclusions, I think Mr. Taiko-san took the fastest lap point, but he will not gain it as he was outside of the top 10. So all we can say now is that was a phenomenal race, and we hope that we join you. I hope that you see us next week on Thursday night at American time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we'll be starting up and getting ready to launch up the stream. Dre, are you excited for next week in Australia?
I am. I actually like racing at Australia, but also too looking forward to see what the Platinum class is going to do.
It's funny because next week I'm off racing at Bahrain.
Oh, interesting.
There's a nice switch there. But
I hope you learn some lessons. I've learned some lessons. I'm going to try and get a Toro Rosso to race at Bahrain. But nonetheless, I hope that we see you next week for the Platinum stream. My name is JB. Thank you so much for joining us, Dre, as always. Thank you.
And we will see you next time here at TCR. Make sure you have a check at our Fanatec link, because they do a lot of support for TCR, and it gives them a lot of support to have such a strong league supporting that company. Well, we will see you all next week for the Platinum class race. My name is JB. Thank you so much for watching. Have a very good night or good morning, depending on where you are. And ta-ra, guys.